U.S. unemployment is at its lowest since the pandemic hit. Wages are on an upswing. 1 million jobs have been created since last December and economic growth is expected to reach nearly 6% this year, after inflation. Each of those statistics are stunningly good news. The unemployment rate of 4.2% in November is a sharp reduction from the peak 14.8% rate reached in April 2020, as the pandemic began to bite. Average weekly earnings growth of 4.9% in November over a year earlier is among the strongest trends in wages this century. And the growth in gross domestic product handily outpaces the rate of any year since 2000 and certainly the average of 2000 to 2019, which was 2.08%. Plenty, it would seem. The University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Index has plummeted by 12.8% this month compared to a year ago. Washington political pundits are already writing off President Biden's chances of re-election in 2024, and are even more caustic about the Democrats' chances of holding on to majorities in the House and Senate in November's midterm elections. In the public's mind, what should be viewed as a Biden boom has run into two headwinds. I don't think the public will really accept the good news about the economy until they feel more confident about the pandemic, says Robert J. Shapiro, a former economic advisor to the Clinton and Obama admin. That's one thing. The second thing is that there is a competing story, and that's inflation. Shapiro notes that even though the data showing a recovery are much stronger than the statistics on inflation, in that the recovery has been proceeding since as long ago as the end of 2020 and inflation has become an issue only in the last few months, inflation has been most strongly felt in two. Given the implications of economic conditions on political outcomes, it's worth examining what's really happening in the U.S. economy and what goes into people's assessments of how they're doing. There's no question that the economy is recovering from the damage the pandemic caused in 2020. It's fashionable, and not entirely inaccurate, to point out that governments, especially presidents, have less power to influence economic growth than is generally assumed.